Alrighty, this is an iteration of bathroom monitoring by the employees of Starbucks and the demons, the employees of the state that are gang stalking outside of the venue. This is also where I routinely documented the fake sunrise. So this is what is stalking with light in alignment to me. 63128K4. And the chunky female employee that with the colored hair, she's typically coloring her hair. I know that's vague, but this is relevant to my documentation. So with regard to general references to the gang stalkers at 507 North Euclid Avenue, this is hot pink, short, shoulder length hair, and going into the restroom with the communication device, studying it and crossing path with me while they're acting as though they're oblivious to my presence, because there is no reason why they would be aware of what it is unless you're out there studying and looking. And of course, this is not what gang stalkers do. They act as though they're oblivious, ignorant about your presence while the fake sun is there, while the helicopters are flying over the building, over the targeted individual, while engineer light is flying all over the place. Nobody knows that you're there. Nobody's paying attention to you, and they're gang stalking you and focusing on you the whole time. This is psychopathic, and it's also, again, relevant to Starbucks that is a threat to the public. While they're preparing food and drink for you and they're gang stalking you, keeping you under surveillance, very malicious conduct. And they're engaged in bathroom monitoring while going into the restroom as a means of crossing paths with me outside of the venue. This is the entity that did engage in what is kidnapping as a means of obstruction of justice. They remain on the outside of the law. The entity is engaged in what is babysitting the bathroom. However, this is what I want to document. I documented their monitoring inside. So they're just engaging in what is maintaining the vehicle. This is the demon that's right here. This is him. They're gang stalking together. And while he leaves the vehicle, the employee restroom, where she's with her communication device, and they are monitoring me, and they are not ignorant about my presence. They're not ignorant about my presence while I'm across the street getting the fake sun from sunrise until sunset, and Starbucks is right here remaining at the same corner. But they're not ignorant now while the entity is monitoring. Okay? This is speaking to the malice of what the government is engaging with the people of the state. But I want to document that. This is all relevant to, they're still going to prison, and everything else that I've been documenting since this entity engaged in kidnapping with the group of employees that were there under Ocean, they are all going to federal prison, and they are still engaging in criminal monitoring. They are not deterred by the fact that they are going to federal prison to cease engaging in what is terrorism. And terrorism, while you've engaged in what is harassing and even kidnapping an American citizen, and doubling down on that and still gang stalking is relevant to why the people of the state are terrorists, engage in things like stalking people, monitoring people inside and outside of the venue in a bathroom, doing so with people that are under the guise customers of the venue. This is psychopathic conduct, okay? And it's also that which a government is maintaining a criminal enterprise. This is not a free society. This is not the conduct of those that are private citizens. And it's relevant to the entity that is conspiring against American citizens as well. But this is P.O.C. Coming out of the bathroom is crossing a path. This is what they're doing while I was inside of the venue, while I was inside of the bathroom. And this is an appearance of it. While the entity is, you already know, stalking, flying over the venue, flying in circles over. And as I would document that, there comes the helicopter flying in circles. Hence federal prison for the Starbucks employees. All right, that's systematic engagement in the pattern of conduct. License again 63128 Kelly 4. And this was followed by a third party with a white truck who was sitting in front of the venue with lights. It's captured in the Google Drive as an image, and I'm starting video right now. They cross path, they maintain light activity, and then they exchange position with this larger truck. Never getting out, doesn't get out to get their drink or anything, and is engaging in what is bathroom monitoring. This is what he's doing. He's bathroom monitoring. This is the federal RICO case, okay, against Starbucks and the business that's represented by this, and this is the government that's engaging in what is federal RICO. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, and this is understanding the significance of what is correlated to what you would not imagine, genitalia in a bathroom that's under surveillance by a population that's stalking someone together. License 7B81522. And this is already captured. This is where I documented the fake sunrise and set. I documented stalking with impossible light activity all over the walls, the ceilings, of the entity, keeping it flying in the air of the drive-through window where that employee is in the bathroom maintaining surveillance, okay? And this is while they're babysitting the restroom. This is called crossing path. They're exchanging position now. They're maintaining presence though. All right, this is that operation. This is P.O.C. Again, that license plate is 7D as in dog 81522. And this is not the extent of it. They're monitoring at Arco. They're monitoring at Chevron. This is light in the path. This is what they would do to molest with impossible light from that location. Chevron is gang stalking. Everybody going to the gas stall is gang stalking. All right, and what the state has already done, stalking with plane and helicopter, they overuse that tactic and they've exposed the people of the state. This is how the people of the state are engaging in the surveillance system, Exhibit A, where there's no takeoffs over here. There's also no takeoffs in Pomona, California, flying over me on the sidewalk. There's no takeoffs nor landings in Fontana, California, hovering over Sierra Avenue when I'm walking out of the library. There's no takeoffs over the Ontario Town Square, which is on the opposite side of this apartment building. But there is positioning inside of this bathroom with regard to crossing path. And this is presence as well. She's monitoring. This is POC. And walking out, getting your drink in hand, pay attention to pacing. See the plane? See the body? This is an inch or light. That's the city of Ontario that's gang stalking. You can see the logo on his chest. This is Paul Leon that is doing so, using their civilian vehicles, using the vehicles provided by, paid for, funded terrorism, while the city of Ontario is gang stalking in the same exact manner. And this is the entity that is not ignorant about my presence, engaging in vagina monitoring while I'm outside of the venue. And the employee is remaining inside, engaging in surveillance, okay? Inside of the bathroom, very mentally ill. And they engage in that with the males. They're together. This is an illusion that the bathrooms are separate. The males and the females are stalking in the path. And that's city of Ontario. I just want to be clear, this is equally probative regarding prosecuting Paul Leon, who's engaged in the pattern of conduct. They're flying over the Ontario City Hall and they're flying over the Starbucks where the city of Ontario employees who are gang stalking in concert with Paul Leon are engaged. All right, that is the enterprise of the city of Ontario that's going to be defunded altogether. And that includes businesses like the city of Ontario gang stalking with Starbucks. Starbucks is a means of terrorism in the city of Ontario. And the evidence fully shows that the Starbucks at 706 West Holt, this is Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue, and the Starbucks at Vineyard and Holt Boulevard, all three engaging in the pattern of conduct. All three engaging in what is gang stalking with the commercial plane helicopter, and the entity engaging in what is obstruction of justice with the gang members of the Ontario Police Department. And not because I'm some criminal going to all of the Starbucks in the city and wreaking havoc. No, it's because the entity is engaged in the pattern of conduct. And Starbucks is a very egregious and un-American and hate-filled company that's engaged in criminal conduct that is harming American citizens. And I documented it just like I do inside of the libraries throughout the city, where they share that pattern of conduct, by the way, of engaging in obstruction. This is POC. This is the same city of Ontario. This is the same city of Ontario. Crossing path. With the people of the state. By Starbucks. Monitored by Starbucks. Alrighty, and you already understand these are demons that worship me. And so they are engaging in rituals. This is ritualistic concerning pacing all around me. They are engaging in this, including the people of the state that pace in and out of the bathroom while all of this activity is outside monitoring, while Starbucks is making money off of vagina monitoring. Starbucks is an illegitimate company. Entirely illegitimate. They're headquartered in Seattle, and this is a civil and a criminal prosecution. And you're these are of those companies that are not, under no circumstances, no company does, but also not Starbucks, which certainly is indispensable, nor under any circumstances a company that is has any right to remain while engaging in the pattern of conduct. No level of money, no amount of money is going to change that either. This is POC. License plate 8VSY367. All right, this is POC. This is the federal RICO case. I just wanted to show that. This is Omnitrans, that you also know is gang stalking. It's activity creation. So you're looking at every angle of the case while I'm giving an outside means of documenting the pattern of conduct. The entity does the same thing. For example, keeping the hazard lights on, psychopathic pacing, while they're driving up, picking up their drinks as they use mobile order, and the entity is stalking in the sky space, psychopathic, all right? This is POC while the entity is maintaining surveillance in concert with the people. This is the RICO case against Starbucks, as I can show you the pattern of conduct by the entity. This is a RICO case. And the employees are going to prison because not only are they engaged in what is a federal RICO, they committed kidnapping with the Ontario Police Department, who have been thoroughly prosecuting them, gang stalking me every day, just like they are last night. The employees of Starbucks are going to prison. All right, that's the same Ontario Police Department. This is Ocean, who's monitoring. All right, taking position right here. This is how she engaged in what is gang stalking me also initially under the fake sun. Sitting there holding what are quote unquote interviews while she was monitoring me at 6:03 a.m. Ocean's going to federal prison. She's incorporating what is her job with gang criminal monitoring, and she's monitoring with this demon with his device, 8VSY367, and Ocean is still gang stalking. You saw her, how she engaged in what is kidnapping on July 4th, 2026, and she's doing so now. And these are demons that are not ignorant of my presence. They're engaging in the pattern of conduct, 05176 Charlie 4. And Ocean is going to federal prison also because the evidence is showing how she's still engaging in monitoring with the same Ontario, with the same entity that was stalking me last night by helicopter. Ocean is still monitoring and doing so after having committed a kidnapping. And she is the terrorist leader, like David Quinones of Stater Brothers is Ocean at what is Starbucks. And these terrorist leaders at these companies are subject to a federal prosecution while they are engaging in what is corrupt business practices in furtherance of murdering American citizens with the government. You're not just a manager, you're not just a supervisor. You are what is a terrorist leader while the United States government maintains corrupt business practices with the people of the state as a condition for existing criminal activity with that municipality. That's engaging in. And this is what's behind Ocean sitting here while the other employee is going into the bathroom and the entities engage in the pattern of conduct. This is their engagement and what is targeting, and they know exactly what I'm here, what I'm stating, and these are demons. So they know that. So their knowledge is proven through the entity that is targeting over here at this corner, not ignorantly with Starbucks. This is POC. This is Ocean. And while she's listening, she knows that she's going to prison. Okay? That's POC. Ocean is a psychopath, and her mental illness is proven while the entity is gang stalking, including at every other Starbucks, sharing the pattern of conduct. And she's engaged in federal stalking, and her employees share in that. It is currently, by the way, 6:05 a.m. and Ocean committed kidnapping under what is the abuse of authority. She shares in that abuse. There is no 602 exercise of authority. Starbucks is a facilitating venue, not a private property, and moreover, she engaged in targeting me on a superficial basis, which in that video is also vacillating. I'm not gonna, I already prosecuted that. I already litigated that, but she's very much going to federal prison. There are no statute of limitations, especially while she is still gang stalking. This is the coward that keeps their back to you while they're monitoring you. And the fact of that is the entity that is stalking by commercial plans, okay? The entity is engaging in this POC with the people of the state. This is psychopathic pacing in and out of the store, psychopathic pacing on Euclid Avenue, psychopathic pacing in the sky space above me, while the entity is maintaining the fake sun, which rises and sets here. And that's directly, I just want you to see coming in and coming out. This is directly relevant to the entity that is maintaining the fake sun that rises and sets upon this psychopathic pacing. And then, you know, when they open the door, they're slapping with impossible light activity. These are demons. And Starbucks is a demonic company. All right, this is POC. And Starbucks' employees, namely Ocean and those under her, Brian, Patty, the mentally ill that are working at Starbucks that are a threat to the public, they are all going to federal prison. They're documented with great detail on July 4th, 2025. This is POC. It is currently 6:07 a.m. This is what the entity calls itself, policing the bathroom. All right, and so I just want to document the fact that they're not ignorant of that and they're gang stalking still today. She's going to prison and nobody's going to be crying for any demons like that. They are indeed going to prison. That was whether I use the restroom or not, but they're definitely going to prison. They are still gang stalking, which the Ontario Police Department are proving. They are proving in the bathroom at Fontana, in the bathroom at Stater Brothers, in the bathroom while I am in Upland, California. Okay, these are sex offenders. Gang stalking together in the commercial airline companies. That's the POC. Is, like I stated, 6:07 a.m. POC. This is license plate. Let me get the 6 Mary Queen Frank 446. Alrighty, this is POC. This is relevant to the criminal activity that I documented the Ontario Police coming into Starbucks to participate in. You'll recall all of the gang members of that department coming inside, the gang members of the fire department coming inside, doing so under the fake sun, and then you're mindful of what they do at the Ovid Family Community Library, what they're doing at the Stater Brothers, what they're doing with the Ontario International Airport, what you're doing when I'm documenting serial stalkers that are engaging in this pattern of conduct, and this is relevant to the corruption of the company and the mental illness of the entity that's gang stalking at companies like Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks is headquartered in Seattle, and Ocean and this entity that's gang stalking, they represent what is regretful especially within the walls of a tribunal, and expose terrorists such as Starbucks. Okay, Ocean's going to prison, and regardless of her demeanor, this is something that is very regretful for the corporation that is surrounded with a federal case of epic proportions, both civilly and criminally, for criminal activity by the company and the employees that are subject to prison. And this is while they're engaging in what is mentally ill behavior, sitting around genitalia in bathrooms, all right, and the means of harassing someone that is documenting that ongoing sexual violence, that ongoing gang violence with the local gang, which is the city of Ontario. All righty, this is P.O.C. These are the demons that are sharing in that pattern of conduct that are all the ways in which I've shown. The fake sun that's sitting over Bethel congregation at 12 in the afternoon, and at 7 as I'm documenting, right here across the street from Starbucks that has been documented engaging in the same thing with the kidnappers of the Ontario Police Department. All right, Ocean is gang stalking. Ocean's engaged in kidnapping, and Ocean has remained engaged in gang stalking, and she is well beyond what is worthy of federal prison. And that's exactly what her and the demons subordinate to her at the corrupt establishment of Starbucks, which is a threat to you. Starbucks is gang stalking you. Starbucks is very much engaged in what is threatening your life and your livelihood, definitely threatening your privacy. And this is the entity that is going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. This is an update with regard to the criminal conduct and the vagina monitoring tactics, the vagina monitoring potential. Even walking toward this venue, they immediately begin policing the restroom and stalking by planes, stalking by the people of the state pacing in and out. And this is speaking to the fact that these are sex offenders that are definitely going to federal prison, and that's where they need to go. P.O.C. It is currently 6:10 a.m.